Bengals look for that elusive 2-0 start. Mike Petraglia inside Paycor Stadium. It's the home opener for the 2025 Cincinnati Bengals. Last week, of course, the Bengals survived that nail-biter in Cleveland, 17-16 over the Browns. The consensus is throughout the Bengal locker room they're going to have to execute a lot better, especially on offense, if they are going to beat Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars here and improve to 2-0 for the first time, believe it or not, in the Zach Taylor era. And Zach Taylor has never won in week number 2 of the NFL season. Bengals have that opportunity this afternoon. They are opening in orange for the second straight year. Of course, you'll remember the disaster of 2024 when they opened in orange against the New England Patriots, heavily favored. They came out and laid an egg 16-10 in a season-opening loss when they opened in orange. Hopefully for the Bengals, it's a different result this time around. But again, they're going to have to execute a lot better on offense if they are going to beat the Jaguars. The key to doing that, according to Dan Picture, the offensive coordinator, and head coach Zach Taylor, they said this week they have to be better on early downs. They cannot leave themselves third and long in obvious pass situations. They want to get deep into the play sheet, and you do that by getting to second and medium, second and short, and of course third and short, and be able to keep the defense on its heels. They were not able to do that last week in Cleveland, and it almost cost them. Of course, we all remember those 3 consecutive sacks in the fourth quarter, including the third and final one in that series, where Joe Burrow was almost sacked in the end zone for a safety that would have potentially won the game for Cleveland. But the Bengals were able to escape Cleveland, put that to rest. They checked one box. They finally got a season-opening victory, opening 1-0 for the first time since 2021. Now the Bengals look to go 2-0 for the first time since 2018. And that was, of course, the last year of the Marvin Lewis era here in Cincinnati. They started that season, of course, 4-1, and then the wheels came off. This Bengal team, though, knows that if it executes on offense, they have a chance with anybody in the NFL. As for the temperature this afternoon, it's going to be pretty warm as in terms of the actual temperature. It's going to be mid to low 80s here at Paycor, but it's the humidity that I think Zach Taylor and the coaching staff and, of course, the training staff are concerned about this afternoon. They want to make sure everyone's hydrated, got their fluids on Friday and Saturday, and this afternoon they'll be doing some things in a unique manner, according to Zach Taylor. He told us on Friday to make sure that players are properly hydrated. Humidity between 50 and 55% at the 1 p.m. kickoff. And again, we are expecting temperatures of around 82 to 83 degrees for the 1 p.m. start to this game. In terms of what the Bengals have to be concerned for on the other side, Travis Etienne is coming off an incredible performance against the Carolina Panthers. Jacksonville winning last week in Liam Cohen's NFL debut as head coach, 26-10, and it was Etienne who had 143 yards rushing on just 16 carries. Of course, one of those carries was 71 yards. It set up a touchdown just before halftime. The Jaguars really didn't have that much of a problem with the Panthers at home in their home opener. But if you're talking about where the problems could exist for the Jaguars, and if you're the Bengals attacking them on defense, certainly the front seven for the Jaguars presents a big problem, starting with Eric Armstead, the veteran, in the middle of the defensive line. Bengals have to make sure that they are ready for all pressures, and also of note, this will be the first start for for Dalton Reisner at right guard in this game. Of course, Lucas Patrick going on injured reserve this past week with an injured calf suffered during the Browns game last week. Of course, there will be a lot of festive events here this afternoon. Sam Hubbard is ruler of the jungle. Joe Burrow saying this week that I'm sure he'll have a muscle flex or two in the pregame ceremony when he is declared ruler of the jungle. That'll be a lot of excitement, a lot of electricity expected here in the stadium for this home opener. You can already see fans lining up outside, tailgating about 4 or 5 hours before the game, everyone with their orange Bengal jerseys on. The crowd is going to be, I'm sure, very, very electric. And Zach Taylor, of course, making it a point this week to tell all the fans, leave the tailgate 10 to 15 minutes early. We want you inside the stadium early for this one to try and make it hard on the Jacksonville Jaguars and their defense. Get the place riled up and in a fever pitch. But the other part of that, of course, Bengals have to start fast. Last week they did do that, getting out to a 7-0 lead against the Cleveland Browns, but they were not able to sustain it. They had a 14-10 halftime lead, and again, were able to just barely hang on for the victory. We will have you covered throughout the day on the X at Trags, Trags. Of course, my YouTube page, the Jungle Roar podcast page, is youtube.com/@JungleRoarPod, and be sure to tune in to the Jungle Roar Pod page after the game. Myself and Richard Skinner of Local 12 will have a complete breakdown on the Jungle Roar post-game pod. And, of course, as always, we'll have online coverage at CLNSCincy with a Y.com. Happy opening day, everybody. My name is Mike Petraglia, inside Paycor Stadium, CLNS Media.